Good morning students, welcome to offline classes for 9th standard. The chapter we are discussing called the fundamental unit of life. In previous part 1 we have discussed what is cell and why we call them cell we have discussed, and what is the fundamental unit of life we have discussed. That is what what is the fundamental unit of life, that is what cell. Then what is cell? Cell is a structural and functional unit of all the living organisms. Okay, that we have discussed. And what cell is made up of? The cell is made up of what? Three major structures. What? That is plasma membrane, cytoplasm and nucleus. Then what is plasma membrane? So let us discuss that is the plasma membrane. So this is what the plasma membrane structure. This is the outermost covering of the cell that separates the contents of the cell from its external environment. So what is this plasma membrane? It is the external covering of the cell. In each cell, which is covered by water, one kind of layer. That layer what we call the plasma membrane. What it will do? It will separate the contents of the inside the cell, inside the plasma membrane and outside the environment. That it gets separated by this covering. Okay. The plasma membrane allows or permits the entry and exit of some materials in and out of the cell. So whatever the materials, if you want to enter into the cell or it is coming out of the cell, it is controlled by the plasma membrane. Next, the cell membrane therefore is called selectively permeable membrane, so that it will select or it allows the entering of materials or exiting of material from the cell, in and out of the cell, so that it is called selectively permeable membrane. What is that? The plasma membrane is called selectively permeable membrane. Okay. The next one, the function. Then what is the function of the plasma membrane? Let us discuss. First one, it gives definite shape to the cell. It gives the shape of the cell. Second one, it separates the contents of the cell from its surrounding medium. It separates the contents from inside and outside the cell. It provides mechanical barrier for the protection of the internal contents of the cell, because it is a covering. When it covers, it gives a protection of internal parts of the cell. Then it is selectively permeable. And it regulates the movement of ions in and out of the cell. So this is what all the functions of the plasma membrane. So plasma membrane plays very important role in the protection of cell. Okay. Next, about the nucleus. So this is the one structure of a nucleus. So this is what outer covering of the nucleus, that is called a nuclear membrane. And this is inner membrane, and this is nucleoplasm, and it is the center of the nucleus contains nucleolus, and the chromatin, which is also contains chromatin network, and the nuclear envelope, and pore in the nuclear. This is one kind of structure of nucleus. Okay. Next one. Then what is nucleus? What is the main function of the nucleus? The nucleus is a membrane bound structure that contains the cell's hereditary information and controls the cell's growth and reproduction. So here nucleus plays very important role here. What is that? The nucleus bound a structure, membrane bound a structure that contains the cell's hereditary information. So nucleus bound means what? Nucleus is covered with one kind of membrane. That is called a nuclear membrane. And the cells of the nucleus contains hereditary information. So what kind of the design, body design is decided by the contents of the nucleus, and it controls the cell's growth and reproduction. So nucleus plays very important role here, and it is commonly the most prominent organelle in the cell. Okay, it is very important organelle. in the cell, that is what a nucleus. So that it plays very important role here. So and here I have told you, it says related information. Where is it? I told you what chromatin network. The chromatin network, which is very important, and it later it going to convert into what a chromosome. The chromosome contains what a DNA. So DNA contains genes. Those genes are responsible for what a transferring of characteristics from parent to the offspring. That you will going to discuss in your higher classes. Next up, the nucleus is surrounded by a structure called a nuclear envelope or nuclear membrane, we can call it as. So here you just see that. So here this is a nucleus. This is covered with what one covering called a nuclear envelope. This membrane separates the contents of the nucleus from the cytoplasm. So here inside it is a jelly-like structure which is flowing inside the nucleus, that is called a cytoplasm. On this jelly-like structure, other organelles are floating. Then the cell's chromosomes are also housed within the nucleus, means the chromosomes are present within the nucleus. The chromosome contain DNA, which provides the genetic information necessary for the production of the other cell components and for the reproduction of life. I already told you, no. So here the chromatin network, later they twist and they convert into water the chromosome. The chromosome contain water DNA, and the DNA which is responsible for what kind of your body design has to be get ready. That is all decided by the information has been coded in the DNA. So DNA plays very important role for deciding of life, how the body structure has to be designed. All those have been printed or coded in the DNA. So where DNA is present in the chromosome. Where chromosome is present in the nucleus. Understood? So nucleus plays very important role here for deciding of life. Okay. The next one. Then the functions of a nucleus. So what is the main function of the nucleus here? The nucleus controls all the metabolic activities of the cell, and it regulates the cell cycle, and it is concerned with the transmission of hereditary traits from the parents to the offsprings. Okay, so this is about what the functions of a nucleus. Okay, in the next class we'll discuss more about this chapter. Okay, thank you.